Hey guys, welcome back to Cheeseadelphia 6. I am Zombie Grub, this time joined by Tempo. You finally made it.
I did.
Yeah, you literally crossed like a forest and a bog and a swamp.
It was insane, you know. I
Quicksand.
hand glided, you know, I parachuted.
Yep.
Hot air balloon. I hitchhiked as well. But
Yeah.
I finally made it. I'm back in Cheeseadelphia, baby.
Yeah, of course, Tempo, one of the old favorites from Cheeseadelphia, man. How many have you been to? Every single one?
I believe it's been like 4 by now.
Okay.
Yeah, ever since, because one of them I came as a spectator and then ended up just casting a few games out of nowhere. And I was like, you know what, let's see what this whole casting thing is all about. And, after that, just the whole feel of it, seeing everybody, I've been, it's kind of been like a kind of reunion, I would say, every time. So.
Very cool. When would that have been? 2012? 2013?
Was it that? I think it was 13.
Okay.
Was it 13?
I
Cheeseadelphia. It was Cheeseadelphia 2, I believe.
Okay, cool.
Whenever
That's a
that
long
was.
time.
Yeah.
A long time ago, back when Broodlords ruled the sky
it
or
was a
something.
beautiful-
Yeah.
I mean, it was a horrible time, guys. Just never go back to that. Because I think we've been seeing a bit more of return to some Infestor Broodlord in some matchups as those late compositions, but it's not like it was back in the day.
No, that was an attempted joke of Broodlord Infestor era.
Yeah.
We are getting into a PvZ though, so Broodlords are somewhat topical.
If they make it to that stage.
Maybe. I don't know, man. We have printf versus Suppy. Suppy, an old name. I guess speaking of 2012-13, that's a perfect year to talk about Suppy. That was probably his highlight years when he was facing off against Parting.
Yep.
Mass Spinecrawler defense against the 2-base Immortal all-in, but he is facing off against printf, someone who's probably not going to be 2-base Immortal all-inning, but probably
1-base Immortal all-inning after cannons, maybe.
I was gonna say maybe if Immortals were cannons, then yes, that's what he would be doing. And we are ready to go into this game. The first map is going to be Ascension to Ire. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he is printf.
And in the top left-hand corner, it is your boy Conan Suppy from Sloth Esports.
Your boy, exactly.
My boy, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're.
Yep.
Yep.
Nah, I'm just kidding. He's our boy. Yeah, he definitely is our boy. Just seeing Suppy here, too. He actually made one of his returns back to esports and, just tournament play here at Cheeseadelphia.
So I think his first tournament back from, I guess if you want to give it a label, actually, I think he participated in, CSL 2 years ago, but not for StarCraft 2, if I recall correctly.
Oh, he did the Heroes of the Dorm thing, right?
Yes, that Heroes,
Yep.
That's right. And then he also participated in DreamHack Atlanta that happened last summer. But this is still he's not obviously participating in every single tournament.
Yeah.
But it's always cool to see him come back. We do have printf doing what printf does best, and that is Cannon Rush. If somebody did not know about this guy before this tournament, I'm sure people were warning him.
Wait a minute. So printf actually, he is still going for a very different style of it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you'll see those cannons put aggressively towards where the hatchery would be. But he's decided to go ahead and put a gateway and then a cannon to protect the gateway, as opposed to trying to take out a building hatchery or something like the sort.
Yeah, pretty odd. I mean, his first probe did scout that Suppy was using a pool first build, so he was like, well, there's not no way I'm going to get the hatchery here. So must be a change of plans, and he's probably accustomed to. This guy actually does cannon rushing, guys, so he's seen it all. He's seen hard counter, soft counter, he's seen people have no idea it's on the way. And still have to react to it. So this is just going to be, how do we call it? I mean, shield batteries could come down. There could be a contain. There could be the Immortal follow-up.
See, it's so weird because you would say that the cannon has been invested, but it hasn't killed anything. So maybe Suppy would be in a good spot because of the fact that he hasn't lost anything to a building that wouldn't really do anything. But it's blocking him from his in between his main and his natural, where it is at the third location. And the fact is that it's production too. printf's production is there, so it does serve another purpose in the sense of that. But it's such a weird situation to be in when you're both players, because it's like, okay, I didn't actually kill a base. I assume that printf has been in more situations like this than Suppy has been, unless he runs into him a lot on the ladder. But I don't know. It's so hard to actually gauge it, but, when you look at the workers count, printf is ahead here, but he's about to lose the forge.
Yeah, the cannon wasn't quite ready to go, so the probes had to be pulled an emergency wall, but now he doesn't have access to the cannons. Oh, psych! Speedlings get into the main base, and since they are Speedlings, they will be able to run around, poke, probes will go down, but it is a matter of how many and how many times he pull off of mining to do this.
Oh, this is so annoying.
Where's
It's
he
just the fact.
recalling?
Wait a minute, what? Oh, the one stalker, because he doesn't have Warp Gate yet, but he doesn't have it on the way either, so... Yeah, he's just kind of making everything on the other side of the map, and then instead of walking it across, you know, get that recall going in, use that mothership, the Nexus energy there.
Yeah. Suppy is working on that gas geyser, but roaches, while they do require gas, don't require so much. He did invest in his speed as well, so I mean, there's not much room to maneuver around with like Ravagers, but there is some. And Ravagers will be very effective at dealing with cannons.
Yes.
This is actually coming down to an actual gateway unit count. Like, it's not just cannons or shield batteries, it's stalkers versus roaches.
Yeah. And you know what? Usually this is a situation where the Zerg would be on one base, trying to get their roaches and Ravagers out to break out, but Suppy is actually mining, I mean, I guess a little bit at the other base, but the fact that he has that hatchery out already and he's not buying time to break out and then take his hatchery could be really good. But I do get a little bit worried when it comes down to the shield battery being able to heal everything. And then if printf is able to get a Robo out, you get the Warp Prism and Immortals out with shield battery, and it becomes really hard if your economy's not up to par. Oh
no.
My goodness.
Some good last-second focus firing on the Ravager. Gets 2 of them, but that should have been at least a kill on that one stalker. The Lings were a little too scared of the cannons, however, and the shield battery was not quite close to death. There just weren't enough Ravagers. It is out of juice for the most part, however, and Suppy is still finding himself locked out of his main, or his main locked out of his third, if you look at it.
Yeah. It's not too bad because printf hasn't taken a natural just yet, but it just makes me worry, of course, because the cannons haven't even come into play for printf, but when Suppy does try to break out, he's going to have to deal with multiple cannons and even another one being added here. Oh no, it's actually a shield battery, so...
Yeah, I don't think he ever remade a forge.
Oh, you're right. I forgot that he lost that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just used to... I don't think that printf even needs forges to build cannons at this point in his career.
It's a special power.
Yeah, he just...
Yeah.
Because, you know, like when you do co-op commanders and you can have these, you know, different... what are they called?
Yeah,
Like
the hero abilities.
Hero abilities and
yeah.
whatnot, yeah.
If you, like, you pick printf on the command screen
And
and
then
it's
he's just
like,
able
gets
to warp
cannons.
Oh boy,
okay.
but yeah, you know, here comes that Robo, and it is still going to be in that natural position here of Suppy. So he's using it as like this blockage. It's just like the, you know, none shall pass. And like the other Zerg just want to see their families here, and there's USA on the bottom in Canada at the top.
Oh no!
Oh, it's so sad, right? But you know, none of these roaches and Ravagers are fighting, trying to get their passports in time. But I don't know if it's going to happen. You're just going to have to bust through that wall, and sometimes you got to.
They could just make an Overlord transport and go on the left side. It's like...
Yeah,
it's like the under...
They would never even... Yeah, nobody would see it coming.
Yeah, seriously. Isn't it just going to go for a pincer move?
Oh, okay.
I think there's too much Zerg. You put the shield batteries up and keeping these stalkers alive for way too long. The Ravager shots connect. An Immortal pops out, but in the face of a bunch of Queens and Roaches, and this looks good for Suppy.
Oh, this is great for Suppy. Even looking at the supply, the Robo just started finishing producing the first Immortal, and Suppy's going to take game number 1.
Oh boy, what an entertaining game! Even if you don't expect printf's shenanigans. Oh man, I didn't even think about that one. But his cannon shenanigans. If you don't think it's gonna win, you know it's gonna be entertaining
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like you never know where it's gonna go. It's hard to gauge a game and how the other player is gonna react to it. Because sometimes you overreact, you know, and you're like, oh my god, I can't take my natural. I gotta break out now. I'm gonna make a roach war and go up to lair and try to Nidus him or something like that. But printf definitely has his fair share. He keeps a spreadsheet as well. So he always knows, at least he keeps a log of his opponents that he plays in different situations.
So I've heard about this Excel sheet. I just learned of it. Like,
oh,
today.
no, wait, you didn't know about it?
No, I didn't know.
Oh, my God.
I just thought he was going to print, like, cannon rushing. I don't know.
It's an art. Like, you know, some people say it's a cheese, but it's a real art form. You know how Nova Gret used to always say, like, it's designated pressure. Like, it's beautiful. Cheese is his art.
It's like Mona Lisa. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, the Mona Lisa. So.
Yeah, and printf's cannon rushing is like you know, I don't know. David. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know if like it's good. I didn't pay attention as much in art history class, but you know, let's just say it's a tempo mixtape. Yeah, because
it's a masterpiece. It's a true masterpiece.
That's art right there.
Yeah.
So
that is a good point.
All right. Well, we're gonna be going to Neon Violet Square for game number 2. And that's Suppy taking game 1 already. So you know, let's see how it's gonna work out. This is another weird map, at least where you know, you have a back base to an extent, but it's not like as good
Yeah,
as you know, any other base.
it doesn't have as many minerals. It has the same amount of gas.
At least you get the same gas though. Yeah, you don't get the
Berserk's
mineral.
really usually they want to take the natural as it's natural,
Right.
but then they want to take the third base usually out.
Out.
If
Yeah,
you
and you
really,
spread your creep out as well.
Yeah, exactly. If you can avoid taking the back base for as long as possible, then you will. But how does a cannon rush work on this map? Is I guess my
That's
question.
what we gotta ask.
Yeah, because I mean I think it's going to be the case. But in the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, it is printf.
And in the top left-hand corner, it is our red Zerg player, Sloth Esports Suppy.
All right, so pylon goes down, probe goes out. Gotta expect that cannon. There
There's
it
the
is.
forge.
Yeah, there's the second
Nice.
probe coming out as well. And I said, I wonder what happens on this map because it is slightly different. You do have that back base where if you get the drone, maybe you just take that first, right? And the cannon Russian's like, wait, what's happening? And it gets a little confused. But of course, Suppy safely going for the pool first again.
Of
the
course.
hatchery's not even going to be down to even threaten. So printf has got to adapt once again, which I don't know. He tried his best last time, but Suppy was eventually able to crack him.
Exactly. I think the main key there was that he was able to get that second hatchery out so
Yeah.
that he could go for that surround in the end, and also just being able to mine from that other base makes such a big difference. Now we're going to see Suppy going to the gold most likely as he goes to the right-hand side. Now, I'm a bit worried if the cannons do get up because how is he supposed to transfer the... I guess he doesn't need to transfer. He can just do what he did last time, just make
Yeah.
him from there, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It's not that he has to be on a very high drone count anyways.
Yeah.
And then
It's even going to be better than last game, I would say.
Yeah, there's other options. I mean, we joked about the Overlord transport, but it's
That
not
was
a-
even easier now, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, especially the gold being so capable with lower drone counts. The gas steal did happen. I guess we didn't mention that, but it is kind of also a printf special. It does it against, I think, every race.
I think so, too,
I think so. You don't get a second gas, but unless you're going for a Nidus Worm with roaches, I don't think that
You
a
don't
gas
really need it
is.
as much.
Yeah, it's not really like speed is the problem. Like Suppy
It's
can
like the
wait this
decision-
out.
It's like the decision between like rushing out the roaches or getting the speed at now, and that's what Suppy's going to be doing. Because sometimes you do want to save a bit of gas so that you can get those Ravagers. You know, they do cost 75 gas, so it's not very cheap. But I think getting speed means that he's doing the same thing that he did last time. We'll see. Oh, not going to be able to get that forge this time, so this could go a little bit better for printf. Except the difference here, of course, is going to be the gold income. But it's still
Eventually.
that same kind of deal of not really doing much with the cannon aside from denying.
Yeah. I mean, Suppy does all the right moves here, so taking another base and then scouting to make sure that's also not being cannon rushed. I would say that most cannon rushers do try and catch
yeah.
the natural. And
They will
then
never
cannon
let
rush
you
it
get a
again.
base up.
Yeah, which I'm going to trust printf here and that he knows what he's doing, but it was like, it is usually what happens. Oh, well. Roachborn once again, and an eventual break. It is a little bit trickier because on this map, Suppy will be going up a choke
Oh, yeah.
against himself, but I don't think that's not going to matter. He's going to have high ground vision.
Yeah, as long as he comes from the same time, or comes around at the same time. But something different here is that the Robo seems to be a lot earlier. Before we ended up seeing 3 Stalkers before I think the tech even came down. So he's rushing out the Robo tech, and I think it's such a key tech to have here. And the Adept is such a cool addition, especially being able to get into that little groove, but still a pretty decent amount of surface area.
Really nice focusing right there. Spore Crawler saves the drone and
Yep.
lings it us around. Roaches pop out. Finally, that gas geyser is free, but if you really want to gas, you could have taken this one. So that's not really the problem. Ravagers are now on the way. This is not a full wall off, nor was the last one. There was just a very small choke, but the Immortal is much quicker. There is an option to put down more cannons in case these die, and there's a lot more shield batteries coming down at once.
Never mind. So I mean, I feel like once the Ravagers are out and like you don't get punished, or I shouldn't say punished, but if you're not getting hindered in your economy by being limited to one base, once the Ravagers are out and you're still on one base as a Protoss, I feel like you get overrun. I mean, even if you start getting these Immortals out, sure you can try to do some Warp Prism Micro, but the Zerg is just going to get such a good economy coming in. Then, compared to if he was only on one base, I always feel like the larva restriction as well as the income is usually what allows the Protoss to get enough Immortals and the Warp Prism and being able to pick away and chip away at a dying Zerg economy while the main starts to mine out. So it's one of those things where I feel like Suppy, both games, hasn't had his economy stripped away from him.
No.
Just by a little bit.
Yeah, exactly, just by a little bit. I mean, he's not really in a hurry to get an economy either, though, as that gold base isn't mining very much. But here comes the attempted break. I don't know, this isn't going to work out as well as last time. The queens aren't automatically here because there wasn't any creeps for to help out. So a lot of the lings die, and then the Ravagers are going to follow soon enough.
Oh, man, but they're coming in, trying to get these Immortals. Not even going to be a Warp Prism on the way, so these Immortals are going to have to just focus on their little crab walk to save them right now. And the shield battery, of course. But the Queens, they don't got no creep.
Yeah.
Baby girl, where you going? Oh, no.
Trying to survive, but printf is held, and Suppy is the one that has to tap out. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, we talked about how that was a gold base and how it was even kind of like in a way closer to the main, but that creep spread ended up being quite a big deal.
It did be a big, yeah. I thought it was so. I didn't think it would be that much of a big deal, but like when we saw it in action, it just you know, they showed up to the party like way too late. The Queens, of course, and then by then there were like 3 Immortals, right? 3 Immortals.
At least 2.
At least
and
2,
then
and then one that was
batteries.
coming out, I think, as well.
Yeah, maybe.
And that must be the big difference. I think Suppy realized that, okay, it's the tech timer versus the economy timer, I guess, right? And he didn't have enough mining at the gold.
I guess,
that he
like,
felt comfortable.
Yeah, you don't want more Immortals and more cannons and more shield batteries, so that's true. But it's also the Queens. They would have soaked up so much more damage if they were on the front lines.
Right,
they came in at the very last.
minute.
I mean, that was pretty useless on their part. So we'll see what happens on Odyssey. Is the last map of this series.
Yep.
I would say that's a little bit more like Ascension to Ire in its expansion process.
Yeah.
So we'll see how Suppy takes his natural, because I guess that's the question of the series.
I know, yeah.
How do they do
Well,
it?
will Suppy take his nat? Find out next time on Odyssey.
Yeah, there is a gold base on Odyssey that he could try and take.
I was thinking the same thing as well, right?
Yeah.
So he's going to have that option. And I've noticed, printf doesn't seem to go for the other cannon rushes. He just sets up an obstruction between whatever base you end up taking, and then builds a crazy amount of tech. Robo seems to be the preferred tech for now, but here we are, ladies and gentlemen, spawning on Odyssey in the top left-hand corner. He just got that victory. It is printf.
In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, he is Suppy. Oh, he's going for a 12 pool. I was like, wait a second, this all seems a little bit faster. And it's because it is much faster.
It's a legit 13-12, perhaps, right? As he might just go for the straight-up all-in here. Now, the question is, I mean, usually against Protoss, I believe it's just for ling speed. I don't know if you add banelings to it as you would in like a ZVZ, but if printf realizes what this is, does he actually... You know, just
does he continue the cannon
sit back
rush?
at home and chill? Or?
Yeah, like what is really... So if this was the good old days, and this was a cannon expand, you just wait, right? But Ravagers have kind of mixed things up, so if you try and defend with cannons, they'll just chip away at you.
Yeah.
If you're aggressive with cannons, a little bit different.
Wow,
so I don't know if that would be his plan.
Okay, well,
all right.
I don't think he realizes the timing of the
pool. Yeah, he saw no hatchery, just figured it was exactly like last time. Now he goes into the main base.
Sup, son?
And sees rather quick lings. He's going to need to put a cannon back in his home base if he wants to be really safe.
I think he's just going to try to, put another pylon? Yeah, he has to put a pylon here. But I don't think he's going to finish in time.
Well, I mean, that's going to be a lot of damage on the lings. That cannon has at least 4 shots here.
Oh
so
my
2
God.
lings, 2.5 lings, I guess.
This is so smart by printf, though. He puts down another pylon so that the pylon on the right side can't be targeted. And now this is going to end up finishing, but I mean, at what cost? It's just a pylon, I would say. And how many lings did he end up losing? 2 lings in a pylon. So, yeah, definitely better here for Suppy.
Yeah, but this build. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, his build obviously is a 13-12. He also delayed his hatchery, yeah.
That's, I don't know if that was really worth doing. I think he really did think it was going to be able to stop the cannon rush entirely, and now it just made it a little more inconvenient. Now he decides to go across the map, but at this time, printf was very calmly taking a cannon to protect his forge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, at this point, I'd even drop an Evo and try to drop it. He doesn't have an Overload on the other side of the map. And now the speed is done. He's invested into it, and it's really not going to give him that much of a benefit, right? Like, if he can kill the Cybercore, which I doubt is going to happen in time, he's going for the Forge because it does have less HP, I believe.
Yeah, he's going to focus on either one, though, that's for sure. The
Right.
cannon finishes faster than the first game.
Yep.
That still is something that he would sack a lot of lings to get, but not worth, because, I mean, the probes would be pulled again, and he still wouldn't be able to break
And then
it.
what, get like 2, if he even gets it down, he'll get like 2
Yeah.
wins in there, so.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Suppy just put himself into a little more awkward of a position by
He
going for such an
did.
early pool.
And the fact that he didn't take the gold either makes me a bit worried because, first of all, this is a later hatchery than before. The Robo's going to be done almost at the same time as the hatchery is going to be done, so I don't know what Suppy's supposed to do here. I think he might have got a little bamboozled. Yeah, he got yeah.
Yeah.
Printf gave him the business, right? It's just like, it's not over, obviously, but it's just he is not in as good of a spot as he was in the past 2 games, like point blank, period.
What's funny, too, is that we didn't mention that he did not have his gas stolen this time, so he has plenty of that, but that has never been a limiting factor. We can see his minerals. In fact, I would want him to take guys out of gas.
Yeah.
He's got both, and if there was a lair turning right now, I'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Then,
but
he has something up his sleeve.
I don't think you need that much gas for just roaches.
No, it's just going to be for the Ravagers, I guess, right? And this is a really tough spot. 3 cannons, a shield battery. I guess with only 1 shield battery, if he gets enough Ravagers out, he could just snipe that shield battery and even take out a cannon at the same time. But, oh, man, here comes those Immortals. And this is the scariest part. As soon as these Immortals start popping up.
Yeah, he does get almost twice as many Ravagers because of the huge gas bank.
True.
Just had to wait a little more for the minerals. And that was a fairly big difference. Takes a lot of shots to kill a pylon. I think just coincidentally, someone else was playing against printf, and we talked about how many shots it takes. 7, I believe.
Oh, I wonder how that conversation came up.
But 7 Ravagers.
Oh, the trap!
Oh, very nicely done with the Lings behind the Immortal. The Crucial Bow didn't exactly hit, but it doesn't matter. There's just too much Zerg here. printf has to fall back to defense of his cannons and his shield batteries, but it might be too late.
Wow, but the Immortal doing that little crab walk back.
Are you
The
kidding?
cannons are putting in work.
Are
Even
you
3
kidding?
cannons. What is actually a reverse trap from printf?
Oh
the
my
Immortal finally
God.
goes down.
Oh, no.
And he actually is able to hold on.
I cannot believe that printf just held right there.
Do you
That
call it a
Immortal.
hold though when it's not even your base though? Like this is Suppy's natural.
It's
man.
basically his base. Like, I think it's a hold.
Okay.
I can't believe that Immortal lived.
Yeah.
That Immortal.
That's insane.
Okay, shield batteries are really cool, but it's not even just that, right? Like, Suppy thought he grabbed the Immortal, so he wasn't shooting at the cannons, and those could have been something dead.
Oh!
Another trap on the Immortal. This time the shield batteries are out of juice.
Well.
Another one is up. 2 more are up, though, and that Immortal's going to live for a long time.
Yep. Oh my God! And another good Sim City here from printf. He's just advancing ahead and ahead. And even though his unit count isn't that great, he does at least have a decent amount of support structures, let's call them.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess so.
Oh my, yeah. But Ravagers are really good in this situation. They don't take any other damage from Immortals or Stalkers, but they're still pretty squishy, I would say.
Yeah.
They have to get in, do their business, and get out.
They still have a reduced health pool.
That too, yeah.
Oh, the drones are being pulled.
Wait
this
a
is
minute!
Suppy's last-ditch effort, but so many of the shield batteries still have energy. Another Immortal is going to pop out as well. And a Sentry even helps protect the cannon from a couple of drones. Okay, sure.
Yep, part of that Sim City. If the pylon goes down, then a lot of these shield batteries stop working, but he's actually targeting down the cannons instead, and he's losing a lot of his units at the same time.
Okay, finally
that's the pylon he needed to hit, yeah.
So much, but a cannon and a shield battery, 2 cannons are still up, and that Immortal was not attacked for the majority of that. That's it.
GG.
printf proving that